Welcome into HealthWise, the TV show, and I'm Ralph Hipp, your host. Winter conditions are a challenge for all of us, whether it's snow, the sleet, or getting dark so early. And here with me sharing advice to make sure you stay safe behind the wheel this winter season, we welcome a great guest, Jennifer Haugh, the Manager of Public and Governmental Affairs for AAA Kansas. Jennifer, great to see you again.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too.
And you're such a wonderful guest to talk with, and we also have some cool stuff to show and tell. So I know we're going to have a very informative segment here. So what are the main hazards we should watch out for on the highways this winter?
Right. Well, as in Kansas, anytime we have a shift in the weather, which could be by hour around here sometimes, anything of that precipitation that comes from the sky, whether it's rain, sleet, snow, anything like that, is going to change your driving conditions. So it's important to slow down from the posted speed limit, increase your following distance from the next vehicle, and just be a little more alert on the road than you are if in perfect conditions. Okay,
to do all that, what kinds of preparation should we make? And you know, a lot of our friends at home, they may not be as good behind the wheel as they used to be, or they get help from their grown-up children who might take them around, but some of the preparations as a family that maybe they should all make for having to get where we need to go this winter.
Sure. So obviously keeping an eye on that weather and maybe timing some of your trips when it is a little better than some of those bad days. Making sure that your washer fluid is full. You've been behind those cars after the snow starts to melt and all that stuff sprays over your windshield. Making sure that's full so you always have good vision out the windshield. Making sure your wipers are in good shape before the winter comes, or right now if that needs to be. Making sure you keep that tank above a half a tank, just to make sure that you've got enough gas to get where you're going.
A half a tank at least at all times?
Yes, yes.
And is it true that if you get really down close to E on your gas tank, is there a problem with your gas line freezing? There's just not enough fuel to keep that line warm?
Yes, you can struggle with that. You can cause problems with your fuel pump and increase the repairs, which are not fun in the winter anyway.
No, they're not. My daughter had a dead battery, and I luckily within 3 minutes I found our jumper cables. I'm never going to be very far from these. So let's go around the table, Jen. Sure. We'll start with jumper cables and some of the things these are all things that we should have at all times in our cars.
Right, especially right now when we've had the winter and the temperatures drop. When you get below freezing, that's a little harder on the battery, so you want to make sure that you have those handy so someone can jump you. It also helps if you have AAA membership. We have battery service, so we can come out and take care of that for you too.
Yeah. Would you rather have us call AAA, or is it something, if you can do it yourself, it'd be less of a strain on the drivers that are already doing all kinds of highway calls?
Yes, that's what your membership's for, but if you can get going quickly, obviously if your battery's not working properly, you want to call our battery service and they'll come out and check that for you and replace it if you need to.
Her battery and my battery, they were both gone. We've replaced both our batteries, as all that wear and tear, so we have new batteries and probably would not have to use these for a while. We talked about kitty litter to place under the traction under your wheels in the mud, and got a little shovel here, right? A little portable shovel?
These are great to have. It folds up really compactly and it fits inside this case. And they're great if you get in a situation where you might need to dig out a little bit and then throw that kitty litter down for traction. Those are just handy to have all the time.
Let's see, I've got, thanks to you, Jen, my AAA eye scraper is a little bit bigger than this. I have an eye scraper at all times. How about this right here?
Flashlight and batteries for it.
Little portable doobie there. Yeah, have those with you. We've got a 3-piece fleece right here.
Yes, with winter it's important to stay warm and make sure that you've got extra gloves, hats, mittens, even an extra sweatshirt, coat, things like that in the car. Okay,
great. We're talking with Jennifer Haugh, AAA Kansas, things you should have. And Jen, let's mention one more thing, or the travel blanket. We showed you the fleece set there. The travel blanket, always a great idea. Have that right there. Can we get all these items at 10th and Wanamaker, the AAA office here?
You can buy, there's several different versions of this kit, and there's first aid kits and other travel things that you should keep in your car at that store.
This looks, I'm just thinking warm thoughts of even holding on to this. I would love to have a travel blanket. How about one of the things over here? Portable hand warmers.
Hand warmers, those are always good for this time of year.
What else have you got?
That's also an emergency blanket. It's one of those shiny silver ones. And then this is fire starting material plus a little flashing light too for safety.
Okay, so are there some certain times of the day, times of the season, or types of weather where we should just go, you know what, we're not going to go anywhere today?
Right. You know, anytime there's heavy precipitation, whether it's just a little bit of snow, obviously that changes the roads. anytime they mention the word freezing anything, it's probably a good time if things can wait till the next day or wait till the roads are well treated or someone else can get it to you, that would be the time.
The things that we just showed, Jen, would this be our emergency kit, or are there more things we should have a little larger emergency kit ready to grab our hands on at any time?
Right. This is a core example of your kit. We mentioned the kitty litter. It would also be great to have some bottled water just in case you need that, whether it's for your passengers or for your engine itself. You can also make sure if you're traveling with your pets to make sure you've got snacks, backup snacks for them too.
Snacks for the people and the pets.
That's right.
Now you have some great resources, and folks, we're going to show you the website. They can check this website at any time.
Right.
Seniordriving.AAA.com. When they go to the website, Jen, what will they see?
There are a lot of tips on all sorts of things, whether it's mobility and some things you can do to help you get around a little better. And there are also some great things where you can input your prescriptions and make sure that that's not going to impair your driving.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yes.
And are there things through AAA we could find the driving conditions for where we're going? And, you know, on their end, it may not be safe to travel in Ohio, et cetera.
Right, right. Yeah. And it's great if you're planning a trip to talk to our travel counselors. And if there is some weather coming up, there are some things they can do to help you with that too.
All right. And any other advice? The last word, Jen.
Just make sure your membership is good and ready to go. That's always the best tool to have in your pocket is that membership card.
All right. Jen, thank you. I've got it.
Thank you.
And
yes,
thanks
sir.
very much for coming on with that. Well, next up we have our HealthWise TV exercise segment, so stay right there on the floor. Don't go anywhere. And we have some very fun and invigorating, low-impact exercises we'd love for you to do for about the next 20 minutes here. Be sure to consult with your doctor before you start this or any exercise program. We'll see you again with our next interview segment next Friday.